Let's take a look at how to make the measurements. First, click General Setting button on the software. At this time the dialog will pop up. Choose the existing parameters, path and name of background. Valid time means that the period of validity of the background will be preserved. We can set it up for a long time. Below is the information of the sample spectrum. Here we choose the path to save. You can put it in the same folder. The second item is to add a serial number to a file. You can enter any number you want. Start from 1 or start with any other number, followed by the addition of a time directory. If you check the date, the month and the year, it will appear the corresponding date, month, year directory for the file. The bottom option is interferogram, transmission, background, etc. The following is the export format of a file. Let us say that the user is using a transmission or absorption spectrum. Then tick the corresponding box and remove the unwanted. Demo information refers to some parameters about the instrument. For example, its humidity, temperature, and other information. If you need to save it, tick this up. Next is the separator between two data points X and Y. You can use this space bar or the comma and tab key to make the selection. In acquisition page, you can choose a few channels inside. A routine instrument would be a single channel. We can choose CH0. If there is an attachment, the corresponding attachment can be selected to make configuration. This is a software trigger function. And in the gain selection, we can set the gain of the sample and the background respectively. For mid-IR spectrometer, generally the two gain settings are the same. The following is a filter option, if any you can choose. In this acquisition section, the user may select different types of result spectrum. For example, the spectrum is transmission spectrum or absorption spectrum. In the absorption spectrum, if it has a diffuse reflection measurement, a Km transformation of diffuse reflection can also be performed. If it has routine measurement, you can choose no treatment. In the case of debug, it mainly used by the engineer for installation. Generally do not tick. In the collection number of scans, the user can input the number for the sample and the background collection respectively. He can choose the time or the number of scans. There are two other options at the bottom. One option is continuous scanning. The other option is fully automatic scanning. The continuous scan means, for example, the user scans continuously for groups for one sample. After 4 groups of scans has finished, the software will display them separately. And the fully automatic acquisition mode allows the user to set different time intervals. Let us say there is 2 seconds here. The system stays for 2 seconds after each acquisition, and then continue the next acquisition. At this point, the user just needs to tick the box. The next page is about settings of the hardware. Hardware settings are the choice of resolution. A different resolution may also be selected. The scanning speed is either positive or negative or in both directions. This is the displacement of the PET. Their settings have already been configured before shipment. Here are some configuration in the infrared spectrometer, for example light source, aperture, beam splitter and detector. It depends on the user's application. In the page of FFT parameters, we can choose its apodization function. For example, in general, that choice is Blackmon-Harris 4, phase resolution 32 and phase correction power spectrum. For zero filling, you can choose 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times zero filling or no zero fillings. These are the display ranges of the spectrum. Let us say for PR beam splitter, you can input for 000 to 400 centimeters 1. For others, the corresponding number can be entered. For example, for 000 to 500 centimeters 1 for Zinc beam splitter, below is about band compensation for CO2 or diamond. The diamond itself has absorption. If ATR attachment was used, tick the compensation function for diamond, it automatically removes the absorption of the diamond. If you don't have ATR attachment, you can ignore it. In the signal check, you can select an interferogram. Here a signal of an interferogram spectrum appears. If you want to see the spectrum, you can take up the SPC. Then the SPC spectrum will appear too. If you want to continuously observe the spectrum changes of the different time, we can click the overlying, so every short time, a new spectrum will superimpose on the old one. Green indicates the latest spectrum. The last page is about the network setup. Here is the IP address of the host. The IP address of the user's computer need to enter a number other than 200 less than 255. Then the computer and the host will have connected successfully. After all the parameters have been set, users remember to click the Save All Parameters to File button. When opening the software next time, these settings are saved automatically. Then we return to the first page, measure, enter the appropriate sample name, then add a dash followed the name. Because the software will automatically generate collection time for each file, the dash can distinguish sample name from the time. This is an indication of the parameters used. All the parameters we collected are displayed here. The colored item represents a reminder for the user to see which parameters has been changed. First, we collect the spectrum of the background. Directly, click the right button. After acquired the background spectrum, you can click the left button for sample acquisite. As a result, you can get corresponding transmission spectrum or absorption spectrum.